Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another press of the another episode. Wow, that's a great start.
Stop the presses.
Stop the presses. Raise the flags. I got nothing. This is a disaster. This is a messy opening. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me is my co-host, Universa.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic. We have very special guests with us here today to talk about Godzilla versus Kong. We're going to talk a little bit about what else we've seen recently. If we want to highlight something, we want to maybe warn you about something. But first up, I want to give a shout out to Shaq Lambert from my other favorite podcast. I'm not even joking. Sequels, which finally had another episode recently. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Listen, life is fucking crazy right now, but things are good. At least, like, personally speaking.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Listen, bro. Listen. I just turned 28. I just saw a fucking good ass movie. Like, listen, we got some shit to talk about.
Yeah, and of course, for real, check out Sequels because it is fantastic. And you know what? Next time you talk to Sarah and Alejandra, let them know that they're dead fucking wrong for not liking Scooby-Doo. Because, like, what is that?
That's the hill.
Scooby-Doo the cartoon fucking rules. I don't care.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous. Sorry. They're fantastic. I love them both too. But also here with us,
love them to death, honestly.
Oh yeah, but they're super wrong. But also here with us, who tends to not have that many wrong opinions, is Matt Garingo.
Hey, it's me for the first time on the Hangouts or whatever it's called. I don't remember.
Yeah, Waffle Press Hangouts. It's in the PNG. You see it on the YouTube and the Twitters. But how are you, Matt?
Thanks for asking about how my week went. I got my car back after it exploded 6 months ago, and I had it for 3 days, and it exploded again. So that's how my week's going.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sue someone probably because clearly they did not solve the problem, which was stopping the car from exploding. So yeah, and that was one of the better things that happened this week. So
yeah, because now you get to tell us about the car exploding.
Yeah,
I don't have a car.
It's a fun story. It's a fun story. Oh, the car exploded, and then I was stuck in a McDonald's parking lot for 4 hours because AAA went to the wrong McDonald's.
They went to every single McDonald's except for
they went to the wrong state McDonald's, and so it was an interesting day.
Wow.
But hey, I watched movies, and that makes things better.
Well, here, your car exploded. Why don't we'll go in a circle? We'll talk about what we've seen recently before we get into Godzilla versus Kong. Matt, did any movies turn your week around after that?
A movie did, but that's the movie we'll be talking about later. The other two movies I have watched, for some reason, I thought the Sonic the Hedgehog movie might actually be good, and I decided to watch it, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't like bad, but it wasn't like, I was like, why did I put this on? And I put it on because it said 90 minutes, and I was like, okay. And I watched that, and then another movie I put on was a movie called, I believe it's called Angel A, which I started without realizing it was directed by Luc Besson. And it became very clear watching it that it was directed by Luc Besson.
Oh no!
And Luc Besson should be in prison. And it was one of the more it's one of those fascinating movies because it's like a guy like just being totally naked with how weird they are. So like it's fascinating on that level, but it was criminal. So it was like, oh, this angel that is designed to be a perfect sex being for you is here to make your shitty life better, and she's a perfect woman. I've only seen that in 6 Luc Besson films, and it was an awkward experience, and I hated it. But other than that, hey, what are you gonna do?
It happens. Shaq, how about you? Besides Godzilla versus Kong,
I've seen this week's actually been pretty good for me, movie wise. I watched Shiva Baby like for a review for like a different place. That movie's fucking stressful. Like I'm talking like uncut gems level stressful, but it's just really, really funny. I rewatched American Gangster for the first time in like almost a decade. Probably to me, it's still maybe like the last Ridley Scott banger. I watched it before The Devil Knows You're Dead. Really good. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke are like on their A game. Wasn't crazy about Albert Finney, unfortunately.
Oh, come on, man.
But like,
sorry.
They're operating on such a level that like anybody else is like, I kind of want to go back to these two and just see how big of a hole they can dig for themselves.
I guess, but Albert Finney's fun, man.
No, he's a great actor. Just this wasn't hitting for me. And then today, before we recorded this, I just unintentionally did like a Jean-Claude Van Damme double feature where I watched Hard Target. Hard Target's incredible. Like just for that last 30 minutes.
Hard Target.
And also Wilford Brimley doing like a freaking Cajun accent out of nowhere. And then I haven't finished it, but I was watching like right before I got on here, I was watching Knockoff. Knockoff is one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. And like it breaks, like, I don't know, have any of you guys seen it?
I've never seen that.
I've never heard of it.
Batshit. Like it's Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Schneider in Hong Kong blowing everything up.
So like Bad Boys.
Dude, Bad Boys, but like weirder and worse and better at the same time. Like cinematically does so many things that doesn't make any sense. Like they'll have like random dissolve shots in the middle of action sequences. They'll have a part with like Jean-Claude is like in a like knockoff factory of like cheap clothes and stuff, and they'll have a random picture of him like picking up a watch for no reason. Dude, in the first 10 minutes, there's baby like dolls of like babies that are filled with bombs that explode all over the place. I cannot make this up. It's the most, it's like, Diego, I promise you will live for this shit.
Diego's gonna say it's a masterpiece.
I promise you.
It's a countdown to Diego giving it the Palme d'Or or something.
Like it's an English movie, like it's an American action movie, but like everything is dubbed. It feels dubbed in like that Hong Kong kind of way. But like there's so much to it, and I'm not even done the movie yet. I'm only like 30 minutes in.
Oh my God. No, see, after you mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme, I was gonna recommend, because I know you guys also talked about one of the Universal Soldiers on sequels.
Yes.
And I was gonna recommend Day of Reckoning, because that movie is like Apocalypse Now by way of Only God Forgives. it's so nuts.
Is that
but
wait,
the
that's
movie
the one
you
with,
just
hold on. That's the one with Scott Adkins in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know we said we might want to do that in the future. I know we were talking about it because this episode we're gonna do a Scott Adkins movie. We're doing Hard Target 2, and it was between those two. But Sarah was like, we should do a new franchise. So yeah, but It's on the back burner.
Okay, you'll flip your shit. But the movie you just described sounds even more insane.
Oh my God, dude! You just watch the trailer and you have an idea of how crazy it is.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Please do.
I can't get over like the picture in a picture. Like, did they do that? Like, do you remember they used to do that? Like,
it happened. Thing is, it would make more sense. I'm not sure, but like if it was like a thing that happened over the course of the movie, it'd be one thing. But it happens for like one scene, and not even one scene, one like random shot, and then that's it. There's a random rickshaw race, an illegal rickshaw race.
Illegal rickshaw.
Where like Rob Schneider is like slapping Van Damme's ass with an eel.
What did you say?
Did anyone see like Cherry? It's on out the Apple.
I didn't
TV?
see Cherry, but I heard it was just like.
Oh, you froze for.
I think you froze for a second.
Yeah.
Oh. I was saying that like I haven't seen it, but I heard it was just nonsensical.
Yeah, it reminds me like just the editing in that, where in Cherry it's just the most randomness of editing or like techniques and everything.
Pretty much.
Look, you throw enough shit at a wall, some of it's gonna stick. I haven't seen Cherry. Gina and I talked about it because
I saw it.
Yeah, we
like
talked
it.
about it, but there's no way I'm gonna watch that anytime soon. I have my Russo brothers bias. That's not fair to the film.
Yeah.
Well, are they enemy of the state to you?
Yeah, it's like them, Aaron Sorkin, David Ayer. I got my enemies. Joss Whedon now, obviously.
Yeah,
But like,
okay.
you know, I got my eye on these white boys. And besides that, anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna move to Gene because that's a hell of a recommendation to end on.
That's it, yeah. Dude, just like message me later when you see it. You're gonna be like, bruh.
All right, for sure. But Gene, what do you got for us this week?
Yeah, I was just finishing up the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, which was on Disney Plus.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they kind of it's not in micro episodes, which that's what it was when it aired, if anyone remembered. But like, yeah, they added like a lot of like wipes and stuff in between like all the segments, and it's kind of they really tinkered with editing it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but at least it's online somewhere that's not YouTube.
True.
And yeah, that one's I don't know, not enough people talk about that anymore. Kind of got overshadowed by the Filoni Clone Wars, so it's cool to see that version of it come back, and it's really fun. You know, it's just a bunch of segments. They're just random, like different planets, different worlds, more creative than the sequels with their planets. But yeah,
I remember there was one scene of just like the clone troopers just wrecking shop somewhere. And I don't remember if I can remember the exact scene what it was, but I remember seeing that scene. Someone brought it back up on my Twitter, and that show is so good. I gotta rewatch that whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's good. There's like one scene where it has like Max Rebo, where it's like it has all the blue elephants just like cowering.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
They're just cowering because the droids are invading their planet. It's like you made Max Rebo like sympathetic. A random blue elephant. That probably, I guess he gets blown up on Jabba's barge. I didn't really see too many people escaping.
I didn't even think about that.
Why not?
Some expanded universe novel, they have like the whole saga of Max Rebo
and the Max Rebo band.
Broke
could have put in a little more effort into the name of the band, frankly. For all the work the expanded universe gets, it's like Max Rebo band.
Or is it the Cantina bands, like the Snice Noodles, at least? That sounds interesting.
The Cantina from the first movie, it's, what is it? It's Figure and Dan and the Modal Nodes.
Oh, that's right.
That's what they're called.
But you know, listen, Matt, the reason they're called Max Rebo and the Max Rebo band, it's like the Star Wars version of Tony.
Oh my God, that's a deep cut.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, just finishing that, all the null stuff just coming back in. I guess Ready Player One, I just randomly saw because they had Mechagodzilla, and sure enough, I think they reused the design. We were talking about this earlier. I think they reused the design from Ready Player One.
That's nuts if they did.
It's so. I have it right here. I'll put it up on this. I'll actually do work for the Hangouts and put up the images right here to compare and contrast. I think it's the same thing. But whatever. I mean, it's a good design. Also, spoilers for Godzilla versus Kong. That's what we're here to talk about today. So all of that will be up for grabs. Sorry if you haven't seen it yet and you decided.
Yeah, you couldn't predict that Mechagodzilla was going to show up in this movie. Shame on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all in the toys and everything. So yeah, if they can figure it out.
I mean, look, but not everyone consumes every little bit of like the media leading up to this. You know, some people have lives, unlike us, and other people are like me and saw Bad Trip this week on Netflix, the new Eric.
I've been meaning to watch that because I heard really good things.
Loved it. I adored this movie. It will make you feel better.
It's like
America.
The anti-Borat, the opposite of Borat. I was gonna say. Borat too.
Kinda, yeah. We're like Borat, you're like, oh yeah, America's fucked up, and Bad Trip is like, oh yeah, this is why American people persevere. It's I'm serious. It's a very good-natured movie.
And Eric Andre did this. That's what baffles me. Like you saying all this is like it brings America together. Eric Andre is responsible to bring America together.
Yep.
I mean,
it might be my favorite thing I've seen this year.
Diego on Sunday at 11:30 p.m. sent me a text unannounced that just says, "Watch Bad Trip on Netflix." So
did you watch it?
Not yet, because I'm gonna try and show it to my family, so my family might hate me depending on.
Oh my god! Why do you do this?
I don't know, because I get annoyed with them where they're like, "Matt, you like movies? What movies should we watch?" And I'm like, "All the movies I could recommend, you would hate." And then I pick a movie and they hate it, and so I'm trying to teach them a lesson to stop asking me. Right now, my father's upstairs watching Ginger Snaps for the first time, and
my god.
I said, "You probably won't enjoy it, but there's werewolves in it." He's like, "Oh, I like werewolves," so I put it on. I asked him. I told him that if I'm still recording when he finishes it, to text me what he thought. So we might get a live reaction of what he thought of that movie. But yeah, so Diego, you're responsible for this movie choice when I show my family.
I said there might be one scene that goes a little far for
as long as I
family.
like it, I'll be cool. I don't care what my family thinks.
Okay. And I just want to recommend one last movie, Thomas Vinterberg's Another Round. It stars Mads Mikkelsen and a bunch of other Danish people. It's so good. It's like, it will excite you about life again, and also remind you that alcohol can be fun, but also maybe don't do too much of it. It's about too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And sometimes you need that little extra push to get reinvigorated with life. And just a little quick backstory on this, like the director lost his daughter a couple of days into the production of the film, and that like changed the entire like vibe of the set. Obviously, Mads Mikkelsen and the director are very close friends, and they ended up making the film very much more uplifting than I think they intended to set out to make it. And that I found that out after the film, but just like it has a very optimistic outlook like on life and stuff like that. And I just thought it was it really moved me. So I recommend that to everyone. I think it's on Hulu right now. I rented it, and just go check it out. Godzilla versus Kong is also uplifting, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
If by uplifting, you're specifically talking about the scene where they airlift King Kong to the Antarctic.
Yeah, they did that in the original one too.
Yeah.
It was a callback, I guess.
Why not?
All right. So Gene and I have been very open about our opinions in the MonsterVerse. Back when Kong Skull Island came out, we had a Godzilla 2014 versus Kong Skull Island showdown on the podcast, which I will link down to below.
Oh yeah.
Guess where I fell on that. But I don't know what Shaq and Matt think of the MonsterVerse. So Shaq, what's your thoughts on the MonsterVerse? And then please take it away. What did you think of Godzilla versus Kong?
Honestly, I feel like I'm one of the few people who've just enjoyed all of them. Obviously to varying degrees, but like I do enjoy them for what they each bring to the table. Like the original Godzilla brings back like a nice sense of dread throughout the whole thing. When Bryan Cranston's on screen, he's fucking magnetic, and it makes Godzilla scary as fuck. Like just reintroducing him into like American eyes anyway. Skull Island has some of the most weirdly beautiful cinematography I've ever seen for a movie that's so stupid. Like it shouldn't, like there's so many scenes that like obviously are like blatantly cribbed off from like something like Apocalypse Now, but just like I was just so transfixed on like how good so many of these shots were and how I enjoyed most of the cast, even though again, yeah, it's dumb as fuck. I am one of the few people apparently who loves King of the Monsters, because apparently everyone hates that shit, but I loved it, all of it. Ghidra is my favorite monster, like he's my favorite kaiju, and to do him justice, because I think they did him beautifully in the sense of make him like the most unbeatable type of shit ever, and I think they did him justice. Am I missing one? No, that's it. Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, I love the shit. I loved it, all of it. Dude, I got to see Godzilla whoop the shit out of King Kong for like 45 minutes. And I love both, but Godzilla, I've been adamant on Team Godzilla, and my rage has been satisfied.
Team Kong stands are just it's like what's wrong with you people?
Like, don't tell people that. It's just embarrassing.
It's like you voted for like Pete Buttigieg in the primary or something. You voted for like Elizabeth Warren. It's like someone still has the Warren bumper sticker on their car.
Oh my god.
I voted for Amy Klobuchar.
They got a skateboard. They have a skateboard on their car.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Instead of the axe, she picks up the giant stapler that starts glowing
and just whips it at fucking Godzilla's head.
Man.
Man.
But Matt, you and I have kind of talked about the MonsterVerse a little bit. What are your thoughts going into it? And then what did you think about Godzilla?
We recently discussed it on the Peter Jackson King Kong retrospective, which was recently uploaded. Everyone check that out, because why not? We barely talk about the fucking movie.
No, we spent a good hour of that 5-hour podcast talking about the movie.
I guess I just remember tangents. Yeah, I've been my only complaint so far about the MonsterVerse, and I hope it continues, even though this seems to be like they want to end it with this. At least it kind of feels like that. They want to be like Godzilla versus Kong. I want it to keep going, and I feel like it hasn't gone far enough. I've wanted a Rodan standalone film. I've wanted a Mothra standalone film. I want the Mysterians to show up for no reason. I just want them to throw everything in. But for what we got, I think it's pretty great. I loved Godzilla 2014. Although I saw that in theaters, and the vibes in that theaters were some of the worst vibes I've ever gotten, because people were getting so annoyed at the lack of monster action in it. I just found hysterical, but I like that movie. I don't remember a fucking thing about Kong Skull Island, frankly. That movie kind of left my brain the moment after I saw it. And then I also really loved Godzilla King of the Monsters. I have no idea what anyone's talking about, where they're like, they hate it. I don't know how you can hate that movie.
It feels like a Mandela effect. Like they saw a different movie than we all did.
Honestly.
Well, also, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what people are going into these movies expecting. Like what did you want? Like, they go to Atlantis in the movie. It's like there's monsters punching. He's called Monster Zero, and like talented actors are saying Monster Zero like it has any gravitas to it. Like, that's the fucking movie, and I don't understand what people. And similarly, I do not understand why people are so like, fuck. There seems to be a lot of people like, fuck this movie with Godzilla vs. King Kong, and it's like, Godzilla vs. King Kong is about Godzilla fighting King Kong. It's the movie. It's less than 2 hours. It does everything it says it's going to do, and a little bit more in the title. What did you want? Why are you angry? If you were angry from the title, don't see the movie. You know, it's like, I don't know what people were wanting. And I had a great time watching this movie. There was a lot of giant punching going on, and other storylines, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, but before I go to Gene really quick, we brought this up on the Snyder Cut episode we did, which is a much more dense film, for better or worse. But like, you know, if you hear the word Snyder Cut and you're like, oh, fuck that, I don't want to watch it, and then you watch it and then you're upset, like, at that point it's on you. You know, like, you don't have to watch everything that comes out.
Don't hate watch things. Unless,
you don't have to watch something you think you're not gonna like. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's a waste of your own time.
Yeah. Like, you deserve better than that. I want you to be happy watching something, you know? Like, go watch something you like. But anyways, Gene, what did you think about Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah, I loved it. I took myself to the drive-in to see it. I don't want to go to the theater for a little bit, but that's just beside the point. But it was kind of cool, just seeing it at the drive-in. Like, that was where all the monster movies were usually shown. So that was cool. And you know, just seeing it with I guess like seeing it with like an audience, I suppose, or seeing it with cars around me that had people in it that honked their horn was cool. But it was like a theater experience in a way, just full of like, but no, I thought it was really fun. It's like it's dumb, but it's like entertaining. You know, like Matt was saying, like I don't know what people want out of these. That just seeing the monsters fine is what all I need. I mean, there's probably ways I could critique it where it really looks that the editing a lot was cut out and it's very noticeable. Like storylines are felt like they were there in an earlier cut and they're just not for some reason. But I don't watch these movies for the humans, and I got to see Godzilla fight Kong, and it was a good fight. There was like 3 rounds of like just them beating the shit out of each other. So yeah, I can't complain. Yeah, what can I complain about that for? Nothing.
Yeah. After I give my thoughts, let's get as crazy and weird as the movie. Just hop in. We'll just bounce back off each other. What's nuts? Again, all spoilers. This has to be maybe the dumbest of the series.
Yes. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because I thought this shit rocked. there's totally problems. And I will say, because Adam Wingard, I'm not a huge Adam Wingard fan. He's gotten some deserved flack for maybe a little bit of whitewashing with the Death Note remake.
Yeah.
And this film doesn't exactly start like making it look any better.
No.
So
Did anyone see Death Note on Netflix?
I did.
Fuck no, I refused.
I like probably for the best check. Oh
I
my
like
God.
the Death Note Netflix movie, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course. God damn it.
Yeah, you have to defend it now. Or
I thought it was, but I'll say it's weird because like I'm not really a Death Note fan.
Mhm.
Like I didn't like the anime when I saw it, and then I saw the movie. And it's kind of like a dark comedy more,
Mhm.
and it's just really silly. And I was like, that's kind of the tone I wanted more. It's not. I would never go like, actually, it's a secret masterpiece. I just think that it works for what it's going for. But yeah, I've liked all his movies except Blair Witch. Although I haven't seen anything he did before You're Next, which I believe.
What did he do before You're Next?
I think
he did smaller stuff. I know he did segments on both the first two VHSs.
Yeah,
and I think I hated his segments on VHS, but I hated most of the stuff on VHS.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what his segment on VHS were.
I don't remember the first one, but on VHS 2, he gets the first segment with the eye camera.
Oh yeah.
Oh
the guy
right.
Eye camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ending of that, but the rest of it was kind of whack.
I despised, this is a good topic. What I despised about the VHS films is that they took no advantage of them being on VHS in any way. Like the first one story was like, oh, the glasses have a camera in it. It's like, that has nothing to do with VHS tapes. And it's like, you just want to do a POV thing, and it got on my nerves. And I never forgave the film for it, which is probably unfair, but...
Oh, for a second, when you said they didn't take advantage of VHS, I was like, they put a VHS copy of the movie out.
Oh, they did. Well,
yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I like that.
Yeah, it was like a super limited release, but they did put it out on VHS.
I would be so infuriated if I got that VHS tape and then saw what was on the tape. I would have been so angry. that would have driven me up the wall.
No, well, like I mean, I think that's a valid complaint, honestly, for that film, because I like when filmmakers use the medium like to their advantage. Like Michael Mann, when he shoots digital, he makes it look unlike film intentionally. He's like, here's what you can do with these other sequences. And I was upset with his Blair Witch because it was like, oh, we're just going to use the same kind of effects, but now we have all these cool digital cameras. They're going to have the same like effects and impact. And I was like, fuck, like I never got back into it.
That was kind of cool though, at least in terms of just like him doing the same thing, at least when he got to the house. Because he was like, the beginning part is like, all right, cool, whatever. Once they get to the house, it's not like I was scared out of my goddamn mind when I saw it. Because I saw it like at a midnight screening. But them going back to doing those tricks makes sense because it's like, hey, yeah, the witch is pulling his back essentially to where she gets the advantage by just like replicating this old kind of style. So I'm fine with that.
I like that idea. I never felt that like in the movie though, but you're right, to the credit of the film, that last haunted house section, why wasn't the entire movie just that? That was awesome.
I just remember the drone that they had. It was you know, they were gonna have like all the equipment, and then it's like they deploy the drone, you think it's gonna do something, and just fucking crashes.
Well, you know, okay, so like I'm complaining about like that film not living up to like its potential. I think Godzilla versus Kong, like I thought it was, again, pretty stupid, but like it's so like visually imaginative.
Mhm.
Like Kong goes on like an Arthurian quest for Excalibur,
Uh-huh.
but he's a giant monkey. And I
Mhm.
loved Kong in this. I hated Skull Island. I thought
Mhm.
Kong was a non-entity in that movie. And here I was like, I'm not Team Kong, but I kind of wish I had gone in with that. I think I would have made the film even more fun for me. And that's not even like a problem. That's just something I thought about like watching the movie, you know? And then Godzilla comes on, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's right. Godzilla is the best. But like, it was so much fun. And Adam Wingard worked with the cinematographer Ben Saracen, who worked on Tony Scott's last film, Unstoppable. And I think this film has like a really like Pacific Rim vibrant color palette, you know?
Oh,
A lot of the action
what,
is
dude,
like really
all of
colorful.
Hong Kong. All of
Yeah.
Hong Kong is literally just Pacific, like the Pacific Rim sequence over again, just
Yeah.
done even more colorfully, and I loved it, all of it.
Even like the water, like in the beginning when Godzilla first attacks Florida, and they're like, he's hurting people and we don't know why. That ridiculous line that I love.
Yeah.
Like there's like this boat that's running away from Godzilla, and the water is like this bright, shining blue, and it's like, oh, because Godzilla's under there. But at first you're like, is everything just like neon colored in this film?
Yeah.
And pretty much.
Or
Yeah.
that's just Florida.
I think I shit in the water there.
It's
they
radioactive. That's what's up.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care though.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I thought that this was such a good time. I do again like have some quibbles with like some of the casting and stuff like that. Like I'm actually fine with Damian Bashir and Isaac Gonzalez being the villains, even though they're people of color. I think the problem is that they still focus on like white people primarily, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's still like Alexander Skarsgård is like the protagonist in the Kong perspective, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like why?
Like
Yeah,
it's like
the
him,
little
yeah, him
girl.
and Rebecca Hall, and they're just like, I don't care about either of these people. And like the
Yeah.
only other people of color on the protagonist side is like Brian Tyree Henry, and I did not like his character.
Yeah,
Like
he was-
he got on my nerves so fast.
That was like a Michael Bay character.
We
and
can
I
talk
kind
about-
of liked
yeah.
it though.
Like Anthony, remember Anthony?
It should have been
Anderson?
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
It is very similar. I was thinking though, something that's hysterical, just to get into the movie a little with Skarsgård, is that he's like a disgraced scientist. Like he's like, oh, I had too many wild theories about the hollow earth. And it's like, which is a thing that everyone accepts. Like everyone's like, no, the hollow earth's real. But this particular guy's theories about it are fucked up. Like they drew the line at his theories, which was just like, all right, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I would say like if he just went on YouTube, he would have like got all those books sold.
Yeah.
He became like a grifter on YouTube. He would have been fine.
Yeah, because the other side of it is the podcast, which is like a straight up conspiracy QAnon type podcast, and it's like all this like kaiju conspiracy stuff, and it seems to be popular if Millie Bobby Brown is listening to it when she's in school.
all the kids love it.
He's like trying to put all the students on, like, yo, you need to hear about this. Like, yo, I don't care.
Yeah, I was also gonna say for the antagonist, for the Back to the People of Color thing, also they just have Sarazawa's son, and it's not really like a thing. Like they're like, oh yeah, like he's that's his son, and then it's never mentioned again. Or like I guess like that's his motivation why he doesn't like Godzilla, but it's never really elaborated on, you know.
That
was like a big disappointment.
You could have given.
I didn't even realize that was his son until you told me just now.
Yeah, it's not like any sort of like contention or any sort of like plot element. It's just, oh, that's his son, you know, he just does robotics and works for evil people.
Yeah, Shun Oguri is the actor's name. This is his first English language film, I believe. Him and Isaac Gonzalez apparently have said that, yeah, a lot of their stuff was cut. And to be fair, I think the movie does flow like really well. You can just tell it's like you're missing like something. It doesn't bother me because I'm so into it, but
there's an extreme lack of character thrust for everyone in it. Like I don't know what anyone's really doing in the movie other than Kong, really. Like Kong is like the most dynamic arc of anyone. And it's like, I guess, you know, if that's the movie, that's fine. Like he's the one you gotta focus on. But I don't know. It's weird where it's like, I think it's a shame that stuff was cut and it was probably been more coherent. But I also think that if you're making this movie, it should be under 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I think they maybe made the right decision, but I don't know. That's why I don't make movies. But yeah, I don't know, because I feel like if it had crossed the 2 hour mark, that's when the movie probably would have started to get on my nerves. Like there's always that line, and it's like, all right, wrap it up a little bit. Like, let's just get it over with. And I was really appreciative how short it was ultimately. But it does lack something where it's like, I feel like if there was more character to it, I could recommend this movie to people who aren't into this stuff, you know? Where like that's usually a thing where it's like, oh, maybe if there was a little more going on there, I'd be like, you might like it. But other than that, unless you're like already deep into not just Godzilla and King Kong, but the MonsterVerse specifically, I wouldn't recommend this movie. So
yeah, I would say in a better world where we didn't have to worry about whether or not it's safe for you to go to a theater, I would say if someone wants like that big theater experience, this is kind of one of the movies to go to, like with a crowd to, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's not the case. So I do like, I agree with Matt. I do hesitate to recommend it to like everyone.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm upset that I really had to watch this at home because I had no choice. Because again, up here there are no theaters open. Like, there's maybe a drive-in, a singular drive-in, and then maybe like another theater. And both of them are like an hour and a half away from me, and I don't drive currently, so like that's not happening. So I just bit the bullet and just watched at home, and it's great. Like, you still feel like the size and the scale of it, but like I would kill to see this in an IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Does anyone remember for King of the Monsters they had it in IMAX for all of 1 week?
Yes, I saw it in IMAX, and that
was
incredible.
They kicked it out for Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that was insulting.
That was a smart business decision right there. Gonna sell a lot of tickets on the X-Men.
I still don't believe Dark Phoenix ever came out. I'm still convinced it's sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Oh yeah, that it came out for 1 week or something. Like New Mutants.
But there's not even like, but New Mutants, it was kind of like an event that it came out because it had been delayed so long. But like literally Dark Phoenix, it was like, I was like sitting around, I was like, when the fuck is that movie coming out? And someone was like, that came out last year. And I was like, oh, all right. I was just like, oh, okay, I guess. That's kind of amazing that movie is so like nothing. It's been a while since a movie that from such a known franchise left such a little impact on people. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's interesting to bring up about this too, because there's plenty of other stuff I want to bring up about Godzilla versus Kong, but like, after King of the Monsters underperformed and all of us here loved it, but it did like kind of fizzle out really fast. And it was like, Godzilla versus Kong is probably just going to be the last one. It looks like they're kind of dumping it. And now it might have saved Hollywood.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, because it got like wrecked by Endgame. And I guess they should have waited like till those like everyone saw it 20 more times.
Yeah.
Instead of releasing.
They also maybe should have released a trailer for that movie that looked at all appealing. Like all the trailers for Godzilla King of the Monsters were terrible.
Are you kidding me? No. That's a horse shit. No, I don't buy that. Dude, the Comic-Con trailer, I maybe watched that trailer, like the original one with like the Claire de Lune like remix or whatever you want to call it. But like that, I watched that more than any other trailer that year.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That trailer is just shit.
I just felt like that trailer. Oh, you know what? I might be confusing it with the trailer for Meg. And I think about it. Yeah. And I think about it because they kind of had similar moments of people sitting around in a boardroom, like looking at a screen, and then someone goes like, "And we call it the whatever." And so, like, I may be just confusing those two things. But I paid to see Meg in theaters, so I don't know.
Nice.
It's insulting that Meg should be part of the MonsterVerse, frankly.
Good.
Like that should have been the American, like we made another one to just throw in there, and then like King Kong could have like punched the shark in the face. Like it would have been great. But yeah, I don't know. I did it bomb though, or did it just not do like did it not make all the money in the world?
I don't think it cost them money, but I don't like it was like fine. Like it broke even.
Aren't they doing the Meg too?
Yeah, I heard they're supposed to.
Oh, the Meg.
Oh
Let
wait,
me
I
see.
thought we were talking King of the
Oh,
Monsters.
I
No.
am
Yeah,
talking
same.
about King
Oh,
of the
okay.
Monsters.
Oh,
but,
Okay,
okay.
yeah. King of the Monsters
was-
like broke even, I think.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
Meg did crazy money. Jesus Christ.
Mhm,
It
Yeah.
made 530 million.
Was
People like
Yeah.
sharks, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
that
People
cannot be.
love sharks.
Let me see. Hold on. It made
Jason
that's
Statham.
why. Okay, hold on. It made 145 million in North America and then 384 million everywhere else.
Yeah. That was one of those movies that was very specifically made for overseas. Like
Yeah.
there was
Mhm.
tons of
Yeah.
stuff in it that was just for
Uh,
overseas, including an extreme lack of violence, which was my big problem with Meg. I was waiting to see a shark fuck some people up, and every time
Wait,
something
is that
happened,
why?
Yeah.
they try to
Yeah.
sanitize that stuff overseas.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
anyone
no.
gets attacked, it's like just like a bunch of water shoots up, and it's like, oh, there's a shark, and then they disappear, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that was like every
Everywhere
single
else, it's sex that sells. In America, it's violence. So if it was like, if they want to prime Meg 2 for American audiences, you give that shit like an R, and I think it'll do like Deadpool money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll see.
Then you got to do the Deadpool thing where they had to release the PG-13 Deadpool in China because so like they edited it, and then in here like, oh well, it's a special version of Deadpool. Hey, and some people I guess paid to see it. I don't know, but Hollywood is strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's weird. Where it's like I was just saying, like to
Yeah.
me, what's strange about it is I don't think they understood that there is a general public like fascination with an idea of a Godzilla versus King Kong movie. There hasn't been another Godzilla versus King Kong movie since the 60s or whatever. Like
Yep.
it was they just did it, and then because the rights are so fucked up. Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That's
But because the rights are so fucked up, it just never happened again. And it was one of those things everyone talked about. It's like, oh, when are they going to do? When are the two monsters going to like fight again? And it's something that I think like everyone's dad knows. Godzilla and King Kong should fight at some point. And,
question for everybody. I've only found out this rumor because like I made a TikTok about Godzilla vs. King Kong, but a lot of people had this whole rumor that for the original like 60s Godzilla and King Kong, that there were two different endings.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the American version King Kong was what the Japanese version Godzilla was. And then when I like got the Criterion set, I went to go look, and they're literally just the same ending.
yeah. It's internet rumor BS. And it's one of those like weird BS stories that existed before the internet, because my dad is a huge like monster nerd. He had all those famous monsters from Filmland magazines, and you can read them, and it says in the magazines that it has the fact about the two different endings in the magazine in like the letter section, but it's not true. It's the same. I think the sound is a little different in like one version, but that's it. Like
it's an urban legend.
Yeah.
It's like one slightly more ambiguous, but it's still like definitive of like, no, he still won. It's just it's ambiguous about what happened to Godzilla, whether he died or not.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's it. And but I was watching, because I forgot to mention this on our movie watch section, but I also rewatched Godzilla King of the Monsters, not the one that was released a few years ago, the American re-edit of the original Godzilla with Raymond Burr.
Oh god,
that one makes me mad.
Oh, it's so funny. It is the funniest fucking movie, because it's like it'll show you scenes from Godzilla, and then it'll cut to Raymond Burr in the corner, like with a pipe smoking, and the lighting's all wrong. It's like, oh, my Japanese is a little weak. What are they saying? And then his buddies like translates, and it like changes the entire tempo of the movie. It's like completely. It's like, and he just narrates over what's happening. He's like, little did we know that Godzilla lurked in the depths. It's the funniest fucking thing you'll ever see.
I don't understand that one. Like I get, like, I guess, just the way the studios were, that like we have to have someone like white. Yeah,
it's called racism is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Racism was strong back then.
Right.
And it's also like, what is it? We're like 10 years removed from the war, so it's like no one's gonna want to see a movie with Japanese people in it, because. But thankfully, they don't really downplay the whole like, oh, nuclear bombs are responsible for this, and they're the very
they cut some of the scenes that are like really potent about it. Like
Yeah, they cut the
yeah,
suffering moments just so
yeah.
they can cut the Raymond Burr like in a bed, like, oh, I can't believe I survived the attack of Godzilla. It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
that's wild.
genuinely a
Oh,
funny movie. But I heard I found an interview with Raymond Burr where he says, I've been trying to get the rights to Godzilla for years because I love Godzilla and I would like to be in another one. He's in the 85 Godzilla, but also
I've
his
never
character's
seen
name
it.
was Steve Martin, which is funny. So like they had to change that for the 85 version.
He's just like Mr. Martin, right? They just
Yeah,
call him-
well, he says it once where they go to like this house, like we got to find an expert on Godzilla, and they go to his house, and he's in the shadows, and he's like, "I am Steve Martin, and yes, I know about this Godzilla." And the whole movie just stands in a room and is like, "These tanks will not stop Godzilla," and that's about it.
I've never seen the 85 one, because I just
you-
heard like mixed things.
If you want to talk about re-edit, in the Japanese version of 85 Godzilla, a satellite with a nuclear warhead like breaks down in it and like launches towards Earth. In the American edit, the Russians deliberately launched. That's some crazy shit in that movie.
Reagan loved it, I guess.
Yeah, he must have. But Raymond Burr talks about the fake ending of Godzilla versus King Kong. He's like, yes, I've seen it. And it's like he's lying. Raymond Burr's just lying about the other ending to Godzilla versus King Kong.
Toho wouldn't even talk to Raymond Burr. I was just gonna say I didn't get like why they casted him. Like that was the draw. Like we have this television actor. Like he wasn't that like.
You couldn't get Orson Welles?
Yeah.
Orson would have been perfect for that kind of role. He's clearly drunk between takes. Like, oh, Godzilla's coming. And like, he's just falling over. You can see him like spilling wine on himself between takes. But no, they got Raymond Burr. And I don't know. I think Roger Corman had something to do with that. I think AIP did the American release. So I don't know.
For 85, wasn't there like product placement? I've heard.
I haven't seen 85 forever because it's not very good, unfortunately. Like it's kind of just a boring Godzilla movie, even though I really like that 80s and 90s run. Yeah. But 85 is just so weird because it was like, oh, we got Steve Martin back, we got Raymond Burr back, and they don't know what to do with him, so he just stands around the whole movie. But
yeah, he does what he does in the original, just stand around. And,
yeah, I guess you're right. That's what
it's called an homage.
But Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong.
Yo, okay, I just got to get this out the way because I said it before. Godzilla beat the brakes off of Kong, like especially in that first round when they're in the water. Like everyone who saw the trailer was like, "Oh, look at that Kong stunning Godzilla," because he gave him that like one really nice punch. Yeah. But like he was drowning that man in that thing. If it wasn't for like the humans interfering, he would have drowned him in round one.
The humans they tried to fix the fight.
they Don King did.
Oh God, that would have been amazing. I kind of wish that was the plot where it's not like there's not like this alpha and like, oh, someone's doing Godzilla's evil for some reason. It's literally Don King is like, let's make the monsters fight, and he comes in and he organizes a fight. Like that would have been amazing.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember like that weird period when I hate to bring it up, but it's like when like Trump was like getting all the people after he won to his like tower. And like Don King was one of them.
Yes, but Don King just shows up to shit.
Yeah,
he's just there. He was just like giving him advice on like global politics.
Yeah, Don King.
So it could have worked. Maybe that could have worked. Don King has, like,
it could happen for another one because it does look like there'll be more of these MonsterVerses now. And I don't know if anyone remembers the Godzilla the series for the 98. Sequel.
Oh, the Fox Kids show. Yeah. It was better than the movie.
Yeah, it was
way better. And I have a soft spot for the movie. It's bad, but it's like, whatever. But that show, they haven't
go there, Diego.
They have an episode where some dude is fixing fights between kaiju that have popped up in the series.
Yo,
they should totally do that for one of these movies.
Dude, to be fair though to Kong, we gotta mention Kong was drugged out when he fought Godzilla the first time. So he
Touche.
did a pretty good job considering that he was just fucking drugged out of his mind and he's just like he's like a drunken bar fight. You know, it's like
the world's end.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
the
mean,
fact that he did that well, considering,
he brought in round 2. He knocked him down.
Yeah.
Dude,
and
that
he
axe,
literally has
bro.
a guy going, that was hysterical. He's like, I guess round 2 goes to Kong.
No, I think
that
that's
was
why,
such a
like,
corny line. I love it.
no, it totally was, but it's like, you know, props to Adam Wingard, who I've been clear on my thoughts on mostly. Like, that dude totally got like the vibe of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he totally got that, like, look, it's Godzilla versus Kong. We're basically treating it like a heavyweight fight, right? And then, like, I was really concerned when I saw them fighting on the fucking air carrier. I don't know why, but I was like, that might be too stupid for me when I saw the promotional material.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, it's like how they balance, like, with the weight, and the ship is constantly going up and down, and like there's a great sense of like scale to the fights, and it was just like I was so in it. I was so happy. It's not Pacific Rim level where there's like nice, like, you can feel every punch like shake the earth.
Yeah,
but this was fun. This was real fun.
It gets you to throw logic out because, like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense when, like,
like,
jumping from boat to boat, and it's like, you would break that fucking boat in half. But it's like, you're just totally like, fuck yeah, watch the fucking Kong jumping and shit. And wasn't like, but I gotta ask, didn't they very specifically state in Kong Skull Island that he's a non-swimming ape? Like, wasn't that a thing?
I mean, he was also a teenager, so it's right to assume that, like, adult-sized Kong is trained. Like, he's trained. He knows what to do.
They brought in an Olympic swimmer to like teach him how to do it.
And I know a lot of people like to bring up, like, especially with just destruction in these movies, or just like movies in general, and like for obvious reasons, but just like when people complain about like Man of Steel and like the amount of destruction that they caused, and then you look at this, ain't nobody think about body count, but like millions are dead. Like, the moment I saw Kong do a step of like Insiguri using buildings, I was like, all of those people are dead.
The other thing I was thinking about watching it with the whole, we just had the thing with the boat stuck in the Suez Canal. And it was like, that shut down the global economy of boat getting stuck. And it's like, what would these kaiju fights do? Like, the repercussions from this would be extreme, but you kind of have to just go like, that's not what the movie is. Like, you just have to go, it's just so we can watch a gorilla punch a dragon in the face. Like,
I've seen like certain criticisms online about like, well, you know, the science fiction aspects weren't really there in the previous films. And I'm like, yeah, well, also Godzilla's not real, you know, like, I think,
wait a minute. Fuck those people. They went to Atlantis in Godzilla. They went in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
He's, you know, like, if this was... He's a 500-foot lizard that shoots lasers out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if this was a hard sci-fi franchise, if they all kept the same tone as the first Godzilla that came out, the Gareth Edwards one, then I'd be more on board to at least like discussing that. But like, no, sorry. I don't think that holds any weight now. That ship is long gone.
Yeah,
when it comes to these franchises.
That's such a just a weird criticism. Like, was it? Do you remember Zack Snyder was like about Batman killing? It's like, well, you know, don't live in a dream world.
Yeah,
it's like that kind of comment.
Look,
it's like at this point, I don't care.
Yeah, that's what, you know. It just reminded me of that.
Does it work in this individual film that I'm watching? That's what it kind of comes down to, and I thought it did. So.
Yeah, like having a Mecha Godzilla.
Dude,
Godzilla. Let's talk about that for a second.
I loved how he looks. He looks so freaking cool. I don't like that he washed my like everyone's like, oh, look how Mecha Godzilla just washed Godzilla. I'm like, again, they just had a whole 3-round fight, but like the shit that Mecha Godzilla could do in that brief time that he had, all of it was fucking ridiculous and badass. I wish they used that tail more.
Yeah, no, yeah, just the design of it too. It makes me want to like buy the toy, even though I don't collect anything.
Yeah.
They did a good job on updating the design, which can always be like a questionable thing with these movies, where it's like they're trying to bring a new version of the character. I really liked it. Correct me, did Mechagodzilla kill Godzilla in one of the movies? Like, doesn't he kill Godzilla and then
No,
another Godzilla shows up or
no,
something?
that's Destroya. Destroya.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say I like Mecha Godzilla. That was a great choice, but like part of me wanted Destroya to be the monster they team up because
Yeah, but no one knows who the fuck Destroya is. Like,
yeah,
you have to think in terms of stupid executives sitting in a room where it's like they need to
yeah,
put something on the poster,
yeah.
and
No,
it's
no.
like,
Mhm.
it's got to be Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
has the IP or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say for the BVS analogies where it's like Doomsday, they have Doomsday in BVS, and he killed Superman, so they have to bring in Destroyer, the only villain that's killed Godzilla, to have like that weird symmetry.
This is that like I've seen the comparison, and not just because it's a versus movie, but it is very like structurally similar to BVS, just
Oh my
much
gosh.
more fun to watch, and
Yeah.
also like an hour shorter. And I like
Yeah.
BVS now, but I also like shorter movies sometimes. You know, so
You know what's something that struck me though about BVS the other day? I was thinking about how they showed Doomsday in one of the trailers for BVS. And I was like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Why would you tell people what the ending of the movie was? And then I kind of realized if you go into that movie and Doomsday just shows up, you won't know what the fuck's happening unless the trailer has already told you. Like, they kind of
To be
need
fair, also
like,
with Doomsday, he looks like shit.
Yeah.
He looks like a Ninja Turtle from the Michael Bay movies or something.
it's not a great design. But to be
No.
fair,
Oh.
Doomsday's never had a great design.
I mean,
It's
he's never
just-
had a great design, but like at least like the comics, it looks somewhat striking,
Well,
like
the
with
cool
like
thing-
with like the rock edges and shit like
Yeah.
that, as opposed to just like a grayish blob of whatever the fuck that was.
Well, the fucking cool thing about Doomsday in the comic was how he started with like the red eyes and like the
Yeah.
green like suit, and like he slowly started losing that as he fought, so you saw more and more of him. And it's like, oh, that's the arc of the whole story. And then BVS is like, what if he showed up in the last 5 minutes? And so it's like, hey, whatever. That's a whole other movie. But yeah, there's some
Yeah.
parallels, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm not referring to the everyone
Moth-
says the Mothra joke. That wasn't that funny 5 years ago. I gotta
Dude,
be
it's
honest,
it's a little
so
funny
oh my
now.
god, thank you. It's so fucking lame. Like even the first time I was like, whatever, but it's like it's the worst dad joke. It's fucking just stop doing it.
It's so bad Elon Musk will like retweet it or something.
It's not even worth retweeting.
I mean, that's
I got,
a
like-
good barometer though, Gene. If
Yeah.
Elon Musk retweets like a joke, that's not a funny joke.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's trash.
I got a chuckle out of it like the very first time I saw it, but that was
Yeah, like
funny.
5 years ago.
Yeah,
though,
5
Yes,
years
right?
I
ago.
saw- Also, when I first saw it, there was like a drawing that went along with it. And I was like, oh, someone put some effort into this. And it's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of funny. That's cute. And then it's like the lead up to the movie, everyone was saying it like they invented the joke.
Mhm.
And it was like, A, I wouldn't want to take credit for it. And B, everyone's been making that joke. Like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
speaking of Elon Musk, I admire the attempt to make a rich CEO the villain.
Mhm.
There's really not a lot going there, but
Yeah.
if you want to like do a Mr. Fantastic level stretch, this does continue the themes of King of the Monster, where it's like the balance between man and nature, a man represented by Kong this time, Godzilla still doing the nature thing, and nature striking back against capitalism, which is Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yo, listen, I see you, man. I see you.
That was I've done some stretches on these podcasts. That might be the biggest one. So
But like honestly, David Bashir, the problematic elements of the villains aside, I thought he was great, just hamming it up. Like
he's so underrated.
my
It's like,
favorite thing in
yeah.
a movie now since like Detective Pikachu is seeing a character and immediately going, he's a fucking villain before they even like admit it.
Yeah. Was it like he's just like Maxwell Lord or something from Wonder
Yeah.
Woman?
One thing though with Isaac Gonzalez's character is that she died doing the literal stupidest thing she could do. Like she's in the ship, they're about to leave. They didn't even provoke Kong, but she's like, shoot him, like as if it was gonna do shit. And so when she got crushed, I was like, that's your dumbass fault.
Yeah,
And
mean,
she also
you just gone down the hole and would have been fine, but no.
She also dies begging for her life, which is an interesting choice.
It's so weirdly cruel.
Yeah, and it's the only death like that in the film. So it's
all
Like
of
some
these legendary
Colin.
movies
Oh,
have them.
yeah, I
It's
was
in
gonna.
Jurassic World, which everyone knows, the big Jurassic
Yeah,
World one.
I
It's
was gonna
in
say it's,
Fallen Kingdom. It's definitely in King of the Monsters, again, a movie we all love, but like Sally Hawkins dies like horribly. She gets the one like
Yeah.
horrible, awful death.
What
Yeah.
what if Colin Trevorrow like doctored all these scripts?
Don't say that.
Don't you fucking dare suggest that's even a possibility.
I don't know.
Oh
He
my
has
God.
never written anything this good in his life. I'm
It's
sorry.
so rare.
I
One thing
mean,
got-
Book of Henry.
Whoa.
look. Here's one thing we have to appreciate about Colin Trevorrow, and I say this as someone who absolutely hates him. It's incredibly rare that in Hollywood you see someone with zero passion and zero talent. Like you either get like very talented people who aren't that passionate, or very passionate people who aren't that talented, but you rarely get both of those. So Colin Trevorrow is like the one in a decade guy who is that right now.
What an anomaly. What a
Yeah,
crazy,
I mean,
yeah. What's that guy doing now?
To the credit of Book of Henry, I think that film should be studied to learn what not to do.
It really, really, really should. It is genuinely one of my favorite movies ever because it's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I think
there's total merit to learning like from bad films, you know.
I've only seen that just because I think my mom wanted to go see it for some reason. I don't know why.
I bought it on.
Like,
Dude, listen, I bought it on Blu. I've watched that and Gotti more than I've watched movies I actually listen. I watched those two more than I've watched movies I actually like.
I don't think I could do Book of Henry again, honestly. Like it's such a like, what is happening? Like it's like why is this happening and why are you showing it to me in this way? Like it's but it is fascinating in that.
Jordan Peterson's movie of 2017.
Oh no.
Is it really?
No, is it?
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Wait, it is?
It's up there. If it's not the one, he
There's
called it out.
no way.
Maybe it was his
maybe
it was like his movie of like 2019, 2020 because he was in a coma for some
Oh, that's right.
Remember when fucking Jordan Peterson disappeared and everyone was like acting like that's normal? Like all this I was like, oh yeah, people just disappear. What happened?
He was in a medically induced coma.
Yeah, because he was fucking on that stupid diet.
Dude, here's the thing. The reason he loves it so much is because it was written by one of his students.
Yeah.
Fucking grifter. Of course,
that's
that's
nuts. Oh my God.
This is what people come to a Godzilla versus Kong podcast for.
Yeah, it's about
to learn.
Henry. See now Diego has to do the impression of him.
I will never again.
What you do? Just talk like Kermit.
What Matt? What did we do for the?
Well, the one I did when I was I did Dr. Loomis, but it was Jordan Peterson. I was like, I met a 12-year-old boy, and his eyes, the blackest eyes. Like I don't remember how I did it, but
I don't.
You don't know what death is.
You don't know what death is.
Like,
Die, Michael.
That guy's like I don't know. That guy's like a horror movie character or something. Like, can you imagine like eating meat all the time?
I know tons of people into the all meat diet.
That's dangerously unhealthy. Like
it is, but like it's hard to explain it to them. Also, because of all my fucking medical problems, no one wants to take health advice from me. So it's like I show up, I'm like fucking I'm missing a lung, and it's like you shouldn't eat meat, and they're like, sure, Matt. Like,
just yell at them. Eat a fucking salad.
Yeah, I don't know, but. We'll see. I just hope none of my friends get fucking horrible diseases as a result.
Or do they eat lobsters? Or I don't even know the lobsters.
It's so weird. I've been to dinner with them, and they will do the thing where like they'll order a burger, but they'll take everything off and just eat the meat. Like it's
not even the bun.
No, not even the bun. Like they're like the bun is what's the problem.
They're like
you
the
just
bun.
like that's just a steak.
Yeah, I know.
They're like. Yeah, that just order a steak. I was gonna say they're like what is it? What are the terminology? Do they use like they call people?
They're called like the paleo diet or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like, the bun is for betas, the meat is for alphas.
I haven't heard like. Luckily, they've never talked like that around me, but they are
Okay.
like paleo, and they're all into Bitcoin. So take with that what you will. Like
they're just throwing
yeah.
away money. Then they just
Yeah.
like throwing-
And it's that thing where it's like I respect my friends and their choices, and I just go like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Oh yeah, this is a great time to announce the Waffle Press is moving to NFTs. I can't even make a joke. What is that?
Don't joke like that. It's
No,
it's
no, I know.
The first podcast broadcast over whatever the fuck.
No,
we sped up
don't do
the
any
death
of
of the earth by 5 years with all the fucking retrospectives now being oh lord.
One thing, okay. Actually, there's one more thing I got to bring up about Godzilla vs.
go
Kong.
ahead.
How they put Lance Reddick in the opening credits isn't in the movie
yeah.
at all.
Well,
Like, he's
Another
in the
dude that got a
background.
screen time cut.
yeah, Jessica
Oh
Henwick
yeah.
was in it too. But she
That
was,
sucks.
That was
yeah.
that guy gets screwed because he always shows up in roles like that. He's a great actor, and
Mhm.
it's like he has like the one scene in movies.
Yeah, he has the best like Eric Andre interview ever. Just slams the desk and walks out.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you've seen it. I think he was in on the joke, but he plays it off really well.
No,
He's
that-
so
that's
scared, like he's
great.
so deadpan and so stoic that like even if he's joking, you're still kind of like low-key terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a scary dude sometimes.
Here's
Yeah,
something.
I mean, John Wick. He's in all the John Wicks.
Yeah.
Kicks tons of ass in 3.
I'm really great. Part of the reason I've been rooting for more John Wick films is just so because he keeps getting more in each movie. So
Yeah.
it's always great to see him.
Yeah.
He should have been the lead of something, but I don't know what the fuck.
Or
Hollywood.
he'll cameo in like Nobody. If anyone saw that. Anyone seen
Oh,
that?
I haven't seen it.
No.
I
Really
haven't seen
good.
it yet.
But he was doing weird stuff where like he would pop up for like 5 seconds in a movie. And it was like, this dude was on the wire. Like, what are you fucking doing with this guy? Like, why are you wasting him like that? It drives me nuts sometimes.
Dude, did any of y'all watch that Funny or Die skit that he was on?
No,
He was like the manager of a toy store, but like the most intimidating manager you can think of.
Oh, no.
No, I gotta check that out.
It is hilarious because he like is like so quietly terrifying, but he's like verbally abusing his employees and shit. It's so good.
That sounds fantastic.
More Lance Reddick versus Godzilla versus Kong. You know?
Yeah.
We got to keep adding verses into the next movies.
We should seriously. I mean, like, why not? If it's such a big like surprise hit at this point, that why not?
The one I pitched on the Kong retrospective we did was John Goodman versus King Kong.
Or just bring him back to life.
Yeah, he's just back. And he's like, I'm back for revenge. It's just him with like a shotgun or something. He's just
Like so he cannot be on Roseanne anymore.
No, they killed her off. It's all good.
They killed her off. That's right. Yeah, she died.
Right,
of,
that's true.
She died from like a QAnon medication she was on.
Oh, actually, the reveal of like Kong and the containment thing was so fucking sick. When he just like throws.
Oh yeah, that's a great opening. Honestly,
an amazing opening.
Yeah, that was awesome. That rolled.
That to me just set the whole tone properly.
Yeah, like,
I gotta say,
what I loved about this movie is that it's just like from the get-go, it's just like this is the movie. It's like there's giant domes, there's a hollow earth, there's all this shit. That's what the movie is. Like you're either into it or you're not.
I gotta say, because Gina and I covered the prequel comics courtesy of Legendary Pictures.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked the Godzilla one. I liked the Kong one fine, but the Godzilla one was like really good. If you're into comics, I highly recommend it. But like it did kind of mislead us a little, Gene, because it was like, oh, they're evacuating the natives of the island, and then cut to the opening of this movie, like, oh yeah, this child is the last survivor. It's like, whoa!
I was like, what happened to all these people?
But
I was about to ask that.
They also come back at the end, don't they? In the final shots of the movie, I thought they showed them like with Kong in the Hollow Earth. That's my memory. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I'll have to rewatch it. If anyone else knows, comment below.
They do explicitly say she's like the last one, so maybe I'm just like, I was kind of hoping that the last shot would be Kong, like he had found other Kongs or something like that.
Gonna start a family.
which would like kind of destroy like the whole Kong mythos, but like that was the thing. I gotta say one thing about it. I saw it twice on the same day because my father, like I said, is a big monster movie fan, but he cannot watch any King Kong movies because it makes him too upset. When I was a child, we went to see the Peter Jackson remake, and the moment we got to New York, he left the theater and just left me to watch the rest of that movie because he just can't do it. It upsets him too much. And so he was like,
That's crazy.
I want to watch. He was like, I want to watch Godzilla versus King Kong, but you have to watch it and you have to tell me that it works out for Kong. And so like I had to watch it. He was like, so my prediction is that they're going to team up in the end. And he just said, if you confirm that, I'll watch the movie. And so I watched it and I was like, that's what happened. So he's like, all right, I'll watch it. But then there's the whole sequence where they're moving Kong, and then they lie to him and say your family might be down there. And my dad's like, he's like, I fucking hate this Skarsgård. He's lying to Kong. Like, he's like really upset, like genuinely upset. Like he's like, I don't fucking like this shit.
Like he's treating Kong like it's another son.
Yeah, it really upsets him. Like it was like he was like if he had like a knife, he'd be like digging into his leg, just being like, they're fucking with Kong. Like he's just waiting to explode. The other moment that was great watching it with him is that there's the scene where they're on the boats and they've killed all the boats so Godzilla will stop attacking, and they're like, how do we get out of here? And my dad said, shit, Kong's gonna build a canoe. 100% serious.
Oh my god.
So my only other complaint is that my father should be writing these movies, because that's the best idea I've ever heard. Kong in a canoe made out of like aircraft carriers, like going like it's just like so yeah. My dad takes this shit very seriously. He was very upset. So I kind of wanted a moment where Kong like reunited with the family and like he was happy, but he seemed pretty happy in the end. So I guess things worked out for him.
Do you remember, because there was a King Kong game for the Xbox?
Oh yeah, I
for
have
360. Yeah, the movie game. It's Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. That's the full title.
Oh well, there's an alternate ending where King Kong like lives. He just destroys all the planes.
Yeah,
out in New York.
Yeah, you can play if you play the ending long enough, you can just destroy all the planes. Like it won't you don't automatically lose the final fight. You can kind of just go on forever. But
and that's why it's the greatest movie game ever.
Dude, it's like a Revenge of the Sith, like the video game.
Oh yeah.
There's the alternate ending where like Anakin kills Obi-Wan and then ends up killing the Emperor. It's like, no, I'm ruling this shit by myself.
That's a wild time for games. They're just taking the
like, who gives a shit? Just do it.
They should do that now.
I wish more adaptations just in general had that energy.
Yeah.
And I think Godzilla versus Kong did. I did not expect each action set piece to be as distinct as it was, first of all. Like they all totally take advantage of the environment. The Hollow Earth stuff, which is just like next level stupid and awesome, was my favorite stuff in the movie, and I did not expect that. I also like that they basically were like, if we ever make enough money, we'll do a Pacific Rim crossover. Here's how. Here's a portal in the earth. Even though Godzilla can access it directly from the other side of the planet, I don't know. I thought, who cares? It's not real. Who cares? It was awesome.
Listen, Godzilla does what he does. The greatest chaotic neutral of all time.
Did anyone notice that Godzilla laughed in this movie?
He grins.
On that?
He grins at one point.
Yeah, but he does like they do a zoom in on his face, and he's like, like he does like a weird like breathing that sounds like a laugh. It was fucking hysterical. I was kind of the one thing though. I was really hoping this like I didn't want anyone to die, but I was kind of hoping it ended like Heat, where they're holding each other's hands like as one of them's dying. Like, I wanted that ending of this movie, because like Godzilla just kind of like gives him the look. Like Godzilla's way of showing that he likes you is that he doesn't kill you. So like that's all you get. But I wanted a moment of them, or like when they shake hands, because Godzilla shook Jaguar's hands in the one movie.
Yeah.
Like I wanted a moment like that where like they shake hands or like they hug or something. But you know that might have crossed the line.
Yo, they dap each other up like, yo, my man.
I mark my words, I will edit the ending of Godzilla versus Kong when Godzilla enters back in the water. I'll put the Moby music from the end of Heat. And if that gets my Twitter account taken down, it'll be worth it. If I get DMCA noticed, it'll be worth it.
But you know what I was
Yeah.
thinking though, because we were talking about video games. You know what the MonsterVerse is lacking? A Lego tie-in video game.
Yeah.
There would be a great like Lego series where it's like you get to play Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, King of the Monsters, and then Godzilla versus Kong. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
That actually sounds amazing.
I think it would be great.
I was gonna say there's a lot of like weird callbacks to the previous film, like he does the eat your vegetables thing, right?
Oh
So it's
yeah,
pretty-
yeah.
and it's like, okay, you're going for it. No one said King Kong ain't got shit on me. I'm really surprised.
Man,
Some very
it's a Warner Brothers property too. Oh, they could have done it.
Mhm.
the synergy.
Or wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I think they don't actually have the rights to King Kong. They have the
Oh,
rights to
that's
Kong,
right.
but
Yeah,
not King
it's-
Kong.
Yeah, it's so weird. I actually, because I got this fucking story wrong when I was talking to Diego on the Peter Jackson one about the weird rights issues with King Kong.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
it's like
Universal has it.
Universal owns it, but also the novelization of the movie is in public domain. So there's like a weird thing about that. But then, like certain elements, it's like Kong can climb to the top of the Empire State Building in any version, but he can only get killed by the planes in the Universal version. It's one of these like
That's crazy.
yeah, it's so strange. There's like 3 different versions of the rights going around, and then the Dino De Laurentiis one is owned by like Paramount or something. Like,
Is that why
It's-
it's the Twin Towers?
yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that, but also I think they're trying to be like, those are the new buildings that are in the movie.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not a.
That aged well.
Hey, look,
No.
Dino De Laurentiis, I can't blame the guy for not predicting 9/11. The guy thought fucking,
Oh,
the guy
man.
thought fucking
Yes,
Flash Gordon was gonna be a hit. It was like, you know who should do Dune? David Lynch. Like the guy clearly didn't have the best instincts.
He did Army of Darkness, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was Army
No,
of
he did
Darkness.
Army of Darkness and Manhunter. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah, but again, look, here's
Catch,
his
like,
questionable
positives.
logic because the Manhunter, the book is Red Dragon. He changed the title because he had produced a movie the year before called Year of the Dragon that underperformed. So he's like, no one wants to see a movie with dragon in the title. So he calls it Manhunter, and then Manhunter underperforms. So guy's doesn't have great instincts.
yeah.
But hey,
But look at the
goodbye,
risk of
Judy
being
Foster,
here.
or whatever he says.
Oh yeah. Goodbye, Jonathan Demme. That is the
Goodbye.
infamous Dino De Laurentiis quote. But at the risk of being here all night, last thoughts across the board. Shaq, what do you got?
Loved it. Excellent. We'll watch it again. I need this, like, once theaters are like fully back, I need this to have like a mini run just so I can see it again.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring back certain movies to the theaters to
Yeah,
get
they
more money or
fucking
something.
better. I want to see
Bro,
a bunch of these.
I need
but-
theaters back open by the time F9 comes out.
Oh, please, fingers crossed. I hope
Please.
everything's better. Don't fuck
just
this
like-
up, world.
Yeah, rent out a whole theater because that's what they're doing now, I guess.
I might legit do that for F9. But Matt,
agree.
final thoughts.
I really liked it. I'm here's the thing, like the 2 parts of my brain, I love it as a fan of these movies, and I like it as a movie fan. Like, so I wouldn't say it's like a masterpiece, but if you want to see a fucking Godzilla versus King Kong movie, it's pretty fucking good. Like it's you'll enjoy it. They beat the shit out of each other and then they fight a robot. Like it's great. They team up at the end, they swinging an axe around. It's like, it's great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Also, ranking the MonsterVerse. Matt, go ahead, and then we'll go back to Shaq, and then Gene, and then me. And then
It's
we'll wrap
probably
up.
just Godzilla 2014, King of the Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong, and then Kong Skull Island. So yeah, but I think I think a lot of them, other than Kong Skull Island, I think they're all kind of close in my brain.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Mine, it's literally just reverse chronological order. So like top is Godzilla versus Kong, King of the Monsters, Skull Island, then Godzilla. But again, I really like all of them. So
Mhm.
like for me, it's like you can't personally, again, for me personally, you can't go wrong with any of them.
I respect that. Gene, what do you got?
Yeah, I would just say the same thing as Matt, where it was King of the Monsters, probably Godzilla 2014, and then Godzilla versus Kong and Skull Island at the bottom, which I like Skull Island enough, but it doesn't top a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I mean, people. I've seen people really going to bat for that online lately. I might have a list. Anyways, all right. So 2014, that one's still. I think that's one of the best modern blockbusters. King of the Monsters. Everyone else is wrong about it except for us, apparently. Godzilla versus Kong is almost there for me, not quite, but I'm gonna watch it again after we're done recording while I'm editing this episode.
I probably will too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much fun. And then that's it. That's all the movies for me. But
not even gonna talk about that.
I will say, even with my Kong Skull Island dislike, it's super cool that there's a franchise that is actively this different, like in every entry. Like there are so few franchises that actually feel different,
especially in a genre where the complaint tends to be they all feel the same. It's so easy to make the same monster movie over and over again, and they kind of all feel like distinct movies. So that's honestly really good for them to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, more impressive because in King of the Monsters, they kind of ended like America, or at least
they ended the world. Yeah. I've never seen America look so apocalyptic, and it wasn't like a post-apocalyptic movie. Like this shit.
You guys should have been here last year.
God.
But yeah, that's Godzilla versus Kong. Thumbs up. Go watch it.
Aren't we legally not allowed to say that? Isn't that copyrighted?
I don't know. This isn't a career. Plugs also. Shaq, what do you got?
Yes. Hi. Yeah, you could follow me on all social medias at Shaq Excellence. That's SHAK Excellence. So like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Twitch. I live stream on occasion. Check out my podcast Sequels. That's SEEQUELS. You can find that anywhere podcasts are listened to. Also, on a serious note, I'm going to bring this up. I have a GoFundMe that's linked at the top of my Twitter. My mom is dealing with her 4th case of cancer, and the treatment for it is not in Canada. We have to fly out to Germany for it. We're over halfway through the goal, which is super, super just like encouraging. And I'm so grateful for anyone who's shared and donated, especially you boys out here in the Waffle Press. Thank you so much. But yeah, there's still a ways to go. So if you can, just share, donate, do whatever you can. Just help support one of the most wonderful people you could ever meet. Trust me, like my mom does so much shit for her community. It's insane. Like, bro, my high school has a wing, has a whole wing dedicated to her because she used to be like a trustee for like over a decade. And she like helps people she helps low-income people do their taxes like for free. Like that's the type of person that she is. So like I want to make sure that she gets all the support that she can get and more. So thank you for anyone who supports, and just get the word out there. Thank you.
Of course, man. We're sending you love and support, and link down below. That's the one link you really got to pay attention to. Please, if you can, share, support.
Literally just fuck anything else I said. Just the GoFundMe is the more important.
Yeah, everyone go donate to Shaq's mom's thing. Thanks for letting me follow up with my stupid Twitch account to be like, oh, you can see me on Twitch. Dude. Yeah, that's important too. I'm trying to build an audience. No, just everyone knows where I'm at. I'm Emperor1 on Twitter. I Twitch sometimes. Just donate to the fucking thing. That's what matters. In the grand scheme of things, my bullshit doesn't matter. So
I get, but still, just follow Matt, please.
Yeah, you'll regret it very quickly. You regret following my account very quickly.
All the Orson Welles tweets.
Yeah.
Gene, do you want to try plugs?
No, it's all good. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Gene9892. Hear my thoughts there. And I was just gonna say we were doing a giveaway for this episode. I'm not sure if this will.
It'll be cool to actually see what the fuck you're
I know.
holding.
The green screen is not helping.
Oh man, this freaking green screen.
Put like your hand over it or something. Oh, all right.
Oh, that's
Godzilla 2014.
Oh my god.
We're raffling off the digital code for this.
Yes.
So I don't collect digital codes, but
yes. If you share this episode on Twitter, if you retweet this episode on Twitter, you'll be entered. If you comment on the YouTube, you'll be entered. And if you donate or share to Shaq's fund as well, send us a screen cap. You'll be entered as well too, because That's more important than, quite frankly, everything else we got going on. Links down to everything else down below. Thank you guys so much for doing this. This was tons of fun. I'm glad we all enjoyed the movie, and it's just good to see friendly faces, quite frankly. So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.